Alright y'all, so this is a tutorial on the Forge. It's basically just a progression guide on how to get from early game all the way to late game. Now, this will work for you whether you're already in late game or mid game, wherever you're at. This is just like a lot of tips that'll help you progress as fast as possible, and some tips for no matter where you're at in the game. So when you're in early game, obviously one of the most important things is your race. So here are some of the races that you're going to want to keep. Honestly, anything pretty much you're going to want to skip except for Goblin, which it lets you get items for cheaper in the shop. Vampire, which it's very good for PvP. It lets you take enemies' health. And then Dwarf is really good for mining. Most of these suck pretty bad except for Felnix, Angel, Demon, Archangel. You don't really want to keep Golem, Dragon, Minotaur. None of these are really good. You just want to keep Goblin, Dwarf, Felnix, Vampire, or Dwarf. That's basically, honestly, when you're at the start of the game, it should really only take you about 15 to 20 minutes to get past the first world. The first world doesn't really take that long to progress through. Now, here is a couple of tips. Now, obviously, you just want to go through the quest line. The quest line through Sensei Moro is pretty easy to complete. It'll tell you everything to do. Now, one thing you do want to do is come over here, talk to this guy named Bard. He'll give you a really easy quest. All you have to do is come all the way over here, and then there's some vines over here. Now you just want to come over here to these vines, jump down here, come over here, grab the guitar that will be right here, and then you just want to give it back to him, and he'll give you some money, and that'll also unlock something that you're going to need later in the game. Also, before you do all your mining, you do want to talk to these people over here and get their quests. These will just give you some extra money and XP while you're mining. As you're mining, you'll unlock things in the index. When you forge, you'll unlock things in the forge index, and then when you kill enemies, you'll unlock them in here. Now, you just want to claim everything in the index as you get them. This will give you even more money and XP so that you can progress even faster. That'll get you out of the world really quickly. As for pickaxes, honestly, there's only a couple of pickaxes I would recommend buying, and then you want to save up around $3,300, or if you have the Goblin race, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, I think around $3,000. And then you just want to walk over here and grab this pickaxe over here. After you get that pickaxe and you hit level 10 from the quest line, then you'll be able to go to world 2. A couple of things that I do want to say about world 2: when you're forging, it does not matter how many ores you put into the forge, which I know when I started out, I thought that, like, let's say if you put in 6 of these, I thought that it would be 6 times 4.7. No, each item has a base damage and a base money that it sells for, and that is multiplied by the multiplier. So that is basically how forging works. It's just the base damage of the weapon multiplied by whatever the multiplier is. If you put in 500 ores and you get a colossal sword, it'll still have the base damage of the colossal sword rather than 500 times whatever. So never waste your ores by putting a buttload of ores into a colossal sword or heavy armor. It's a total waste, and there's really no point in putting anything more than like 40 for heavy armor. Whenever you're crafting heavy armor, I would always recommend putting around 30 to 35 because that gives you the highest chance to get the leggings, helmet, and chest plate all with only one craft. If you are obviously trying to craft one specific piece of armor, then just do that. Once you're in the second world, you want to talk to this guy, get his quest, talk to Sensei Moro obviously, and get his quest. This is where you sell your stuff. Never sell your ores to this guy. This guy will totally rip you off when you sell your ores to this guy, but you can sell your essence to him for a lot of money. Potions, you don't really need potions until late game, but when you are in world 2, you want to come over here. This will take you to the top of the map, which is where you're always going to be at. You want to talk to this guy. This guy will give you his quest line. Even if you look on Google, I know Google will tell you that this guy will give you rerolls when you complete his quest. That is not true. You do not get rerolls for completing his quest. This guy has a quest where you give him a health potion. I would grab this guy's quest too. His quest just gives you extra XP, whatever. Like I said, I would recommend always having every quest open as you're playing so that as you play, you kind of complete them as you go. Now, these basalt rocks, you can use that stone pickaxe that I told you to buy to mine these. Once you have mined a lot of these and you get up to $10,000 or around $8,000, then you can move on to the next pickaxe. Basically, you're going to want to get this pickaxe once you save up 10,000 and then use this pickaxe. Once you get enough for this pickaxe, you want to buy this pickaxe, which you don't need any other pickaxe from this world. You just want to save up for this one. Now, after you save up for that one, obviously, let's just head back to world 1 for the next pickaxe. So back in world 1, this does bring us back to where we did this guy's quest line. It should have giving you a key, which obviously the key, don't worry about the key like that much. It's not like an actual item. Pretty much just unlocks the next pickaxe that you're going to want to use for World 2, which will help you progress a lot faster. Do not buy the little lava pickaxe or whatever it's called that's in that area, but you pretty much just want to come over here to this area. Now, you can use the key. I don't know where the door is. I think the door is like right here. You use the key to unlock this door, and then you can come over here. This is the next pickaxe you want to buy. As you can see, 115 mine power. It's only 125 granites. It's cheaper than the lava one that's in that area. This is the next pickaxe you want to get. Back in World 2, let's say now that you've got the next pickaxe, real quick, I do want to show you some of the best farm spots. So let's say if you're farming just the skeleton rogues, I would recommend being over here, but this is where the most bombers are going to spawn, and level 1s. This is where you'll find the most skeleton rogues, bombers, whatever. If you're farming any type of like miner shard, this is where you want to farm. Now, Delver zombies don't drop miner shards, I don't believe. Contrary to popular belief, these guys actually drop miner shards. So back at the entrance of the cave, rather than going down the middle, you actually want to come over here to the right. So first of all, now I will show you two things up here, but this is a really good AFK spot because every single time you break these two rocks, they will always respawn here. So you can just kind of AFK here. If you have the goblin race, it's best to sit under here. If you have goblin or dwarf, you can sit under here and mine it, and the rocks won't push you away, and you can just kind of AFK here. And another really good farm spot, there is these two basalt cores, and then you can come over here. A lot of death axe skeletons will spawn down here, like tens of them, and this is the best place to farm them. Obviously, when you're doing the quest lines that require you to kill them, I would recommend farming them down here. They're actually really easy to kill if you memorize their patterns. This does go for the elite death axe skeletons. They swing twice, and then they stop swinging for a little bit, so you can dodge both of their attacks and then just kill them. Once you're down here in this lava area, I will have you know that even if you break these volcanic rocks, these other rocks are going to block the spawns of these, so you're going to have to farm these rocks too. I'm sure if you're in a public server, then you'll be fine because people will farm them. And there's also a really hard enemy down here called the Reaper. I don't think he spawned, but he has a scythe and he's really hard to fight, and he'll parry a lot of your attacks. However, he does drop a really overpowered rune, which you can put on your weapon, which it's pretty much the same thing as the vampire race. It's called Drain Edge. It'll lifesteal from the enemies that you kill, and it's a really good perk to have. But once you're done with this area, and obviously you reach level 70, which I'm sure you'll get from just farming this. Really quick though, a really good money method which you can use inside of World 2 is just crafting heavy armor out of all of your materials. Whenever you're farming, I would not recommend putting all you have to do to farm money is just take whatever like you have a lot of, put like 30 of them into armor, and then just forge it. And then once you just forge it, it's very easy. You just go through the forge process. I have fast forge, so it's obviously gonna be easier for me, but you just want to forge up the armor, and this is, bro, it's free money. It's just your extra ores. Sometimes you'll even get armor from your scrap ores that is better than your current armor, which I wouldn't even recommend following any recipes until you're at late game. I would recommend just using whatever your best armor is that you get from these ores, because sometimes you'll get really good armor and this will guide you through the game. You won't really have to worry about saving up a bunch of annoying ores like rubies and emeralds and whatnot when you're in this area. You might have also selected the cat quest in World 1. If you want to complete that, you're gonna have to come over here to this goblin guy over here. You're going to have to go through his quest line. Now, he's going to charge you around $75,000, but there is a couple more quests over here which you can do. So if you come over here to where Captain Rowan is, and you basically just jump down here, you'll see this house over here. All you gotta do is just jump down here. You can also follow the path up here. You jump down here. If you talk to this guy right here, he'll ask you for 3 fireite, which is one of the rarer ores that you get from the volcano. It is another quest you can do. There's this little room over here that has like the devs or whatnot. So another thing, there is weapons that you can craft over here, but there's more weapons that you'll unlock once you get to World 3. Like right now, if you go to weapons, there's dagger, great sword, great axe, katana, sword, gauntlet. But once you get to World 3, it'll unlock a lot more weapons. Your best ores into these, I would recommend saving those. So once you're in World 3 is definitely going to take a bit longer to grind. I will say Sensei Moro's quest line here is a lot harder, but over here you've got Sensei Moro, which you're gonna have to talk to him. He's just gonna give you quests to mine. Right now there is a Santa event going on. It doesn't really have very much good stuff. If you are seeing this when the Santa event is still out, which it will be going away tomorrow, I would recommend coming over here, talking to him. You can get his quest through here, but I would recommend getting the Hellslayer. It's one of the best weapons in the game. It's like 200 credits. You can get it from like one starter quest. It's really easy. and it's really overpowered, so I would definitely recommend getting it. Also, you're gonna need your ores from World 2, so I would recommend saving up some Demonite, Firite, and Magmite. Don't spend that on armor. Give it to this guy so that you can unlock this geyser that will take you to the peak. The pickaxe progression guide when you get here, it is a bit confusing. You kind of have to go through every pickaxe. I would recommend once you get here, just go for the aqua pickaxe when you start out. Try to get the aqua pickaxe, obviously, if you can only afford the tungsten pickaxe. I mean, I don't think it's very good. I would try to get the aqua pickaxe as soon as you can, and then go for the mist pickaxe, then the snow, then the frost, and then the void pickaxe, obviously. There is a couple of quest lines which you can do here. When you spawn in, if you come over here, you can get Bjorn's quest line, which is right here. His quest line is going to be for killing enemies, so one of the first things you're going to want to do, come over here, talk to Bjorn, get his quest line. He'll tell you what to do in terms of killing enemies. So yeah, the first place where you're going to be mining is over here. This is the spider cave. Real quick before we go to the spider cave, there is actually a little drag over here. This is another goblin king. He's a bit of a scammer. He doesn't really help you out that much. If you come over here, there is actually a secret area back here. You can talk to one of the devs. He'll give you a quest where you need to bring him back his cat. This basically gives you 50 grass, and this grass, it's kind of just like a rare item. It's not good. It has a 0.1 multiplier, but it's just kind of like a little collectible that you can get. As to where the dev's cat is, all you have to do is come over here to where Bjorn's house is, and it's actually in the house behind Bjorn's house. It's back here. All you gotta do is kind of just jump over here, jump on here, just come back, and then you can walk in here. The cat's actually going to be on the bed right here. You can just grab the cat and then go all the way back to where the dev is at and give him the cat. He'll give you 50 grass, I believe it is, which it's just kind of a cool collector's item that you can have, show your friends, you know. I mean, you can do that. Now, once you're here at the spider cave, all you want to do is just kind of farm these pebbles over here. These pebbles are going to give you a lot of items. This is going to be where you actually start getting some good armor and weapons. This will also be getting you a lot of money. Kind of one of the best money methods in the game even now is just coming around farming all of these pebbles. You're going to need to farm rocks, pebbles. This is one of the best places to farm the rocks in my opinion. And there is actually an AFK spot right here. And it's right here. These two boulders, every single time you break them, they'll always respawn right here, and you can break them both at the same time. So this is a really good AFK spot. You can just kind of AFK here and break both of these boulders. Once you get to the Raven quest, you're gonna have to kill this guy to get his heart for the quest, which I don't think it's a crazy rare drop, but I will show you a weapon craft later on in the game, which is the one I have right now, which will help you a lot. All right, so let's say that you've already got the pickaxes that you need. You've got the, I believe it's the mist pickaxe or the snow pickaxe that you need. And let's say you've unlocked this and you can now go to the peak. Now, you can go to the peak without that. I think there's a path that goes like up over here. It takes a little while, but you can get up here. Over there, that's the boss fight. It opens within the first 15 minutes of every 30-minute interval. So I'm going to show you the best farm spots over here. When you're first starting out, over here is where you're going to want to farm. Now, if you come all the way over here, you can just dodge all these enemies. You want to come over here. You're going to see these two small ice crystals. These will always respawn in this same spot, and you can break them both at the same time. This is the best AFK spot for when you're first starting out up in the peak, because you can farm the small ice crystals right here. That is the best spot, undeniably, for the small ice crystals. Now, once you do get good weapons, these guys are really good to kill. Here's the next best spot, is all the way over here in this corner. There's no enemies over here in this corner, and this is where I like to AFK, right here. These two crystals always respawn right here, and you can break them both at the same time. You want to sit on the inside rather than the outside over here. I don't know why. When you stand on the outside, it's like harder to break them, and you'll sometimes get pushed away, but if you stand right here, you can always break these two crystals at the same time. And another thing, these yetis, you can actually trap these yetis. Basically, when you walk away enough, they will run back to their spawns. And so pretty much if you bring this guy over here, he will respawn over here once you kill him enough. But once you bring this guy over here, you can trap him up here by bringing him all the way over here and then getting him in this corner. And then here's how you want to do it. You want to dash down over this way, and he'll get trapped because he'll start running back towards his spawn point, and he'll get stuck right there, and you can farm infinitely. I would recommend always farming whatever rocks you can farm 2 at a time, but this one you can. You just want to try to break 2 at a time to get the most out of your pickaxe. Also, don't put any runes on any of your pickaxes when you're first starting out. It's low-key kind of just a waste of money, and I wouldn't even recommend putting a rune on like even the best pickaxes just yet, because there is a new pickaxe coming really soon. Once you've solidified yourself a bit in World 3 and you've got, let's say you've got pretty decent armor, you've got your pickaxes, you've got everything you need, what you want to do next to unlock the Raven Cave, which was added in the most recent update, you want to come over here. You want to come right in the spawn, come all the way over here. There's going to be campsite right here. Right here, there's going to be a raven on this box. You want to talk to him and he's going to give you a quest. Now, this quest that he gives you, it's a very easy quest. I think you just need to farm pebbles and rocks or something. I forget what it was, but you'll see what it is when you get to him. He's going to give you a pretty easy quest, which will unlock the raven helmet, I believe. And then next things that you want to do is you want to come over here. There's a cave right here. It's open for me. It won't be open for you because you have to unlock it. There will be a raven right here, which you need to talk to him to get the next quest. This will also unlock the raven chest plate for you, and this is where you're going to want to farm them. Unlock this cave. This cave, there's a lot of good crystals in here, but you don't really need to farm those just yet. Rather than farming those, what you want to do is you want to come all the way over here. Now, there's going to be a little secret area over here. And once you come all the way over here, there's going to be an area right here. You just want to walk through here. And then there's going to be a quest line over here that you need to complete. There should be a raven on the sideline over here, which will give you another quest line where you're going to need to get a really rare ore, which is really hard to complete. This is the Hellslayer right here. It's like a 1 in 16 chance for the straight sword, but I would recommend looking up some kind of tutorial on how to get those. You basically have to break all of the small crystals. So you're going to have to talk to Aaron here, complete his quest line, talk to this guy, complete his quest line, and then talk to this guy. Once you do talk to these guys, you'll get a quest line to get hearts, pretty much. I believe you'll have to like kill a bunch of crystal spiders and then get a heart. Now, that area over there in the spider cave is where you're going to get the prismarine heart. So yeah, in order to get the prismarine heart, you want to come into the spider cave, go all the way down there, and then take a left and go straight, and that is how you get to the prismarine spider. It's a boss fight. It is a little bit hard if you're not super solidified yet in terms of having late game armor and whatnot, but I think you should be fine. If you have the vampire race or even the demon or angel race, it maybe even archangel race, if you have any of those, then you should be fine killing the boss. It's really not that hard, but like I said, I will give you a craft which will make it really easy. And so yeah, that's how you complete the first quest. Next up on the quest line, you're gonna have to get a Yeti heart. Now, the Yeti heart, I showed you where the Yetis are. You might not remember. The Yetis, all you have to do is come down here, go all the way down, and then go in that area to the right. You can also take the right path and go all the way down. You just want to come all the way over here, and then there's gonna be Yetis. So once you get over here, these Yetis are going to drop the Yeti hearts. This is what you need for the second quest. They're pretty easy to kill. They don't really have that much HP. If you aren't super late into the game already, then it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to kill them. But I would recommend, if you have unlocked it yet with playtime, I would recommend equipping the luck boost over here. I don't know if I showed you this yet, but there's a bunch of boosts that you can get from doing certain things, like a damage boost, luck boost, critical chance boost, and then there's also a mind power boost, which you're going to use when you're mining these crystals. But yeah, I would recommend using the luck boost to get a higher chance at the Yeti heart. These guys, yeah, they drop pretty good essence. Oh, it looks like there was a boost that just came on for the weekend. So if you're watching this during the weekend, I would recommend using the boosts. For the golem heart, it's really not as easy as the other ones, I'll be honest. This is a boss fight. I will, however, show you a couple of methods to fighting this boss. Now, whenever he does this, all you want to do is just run around. He'll do it 3 times, and then for these, you just want to dodge, dash away as quick as you can for these. Now, when I'm fighting this guy, I can kind of just freeze him over and over with my weapon, which that way includes this craft. Fighting him, it's pretty easy for me. You just want to dash against his attacks. You can also parry them. Another thing you can do is you can actually bring him over here, and he'll get stuck right here. If you really want to, you can just, I think it's called cheesing him. You can bring him over here and he'll get stuck. And you can just fight him and then come up here and heal and he can't hit you. But I don't need to do that just because I have this really overpowered sword, which, as you can see, it's just freezing him over and over. He's constantly frozen. He can't even really hit me. And it just makes this really easy. Also, as you can see, I'm using the vampire race right now, which is refilling my health every single time I hit him. So I'm not really taking any damage. I'm basically unkillable. This is why vampire race is really good, especially for late game. Now, I didn't get the golem heart, but you can get the golem heart from this. This is how you get them. I think I already have a couple of them. Yeah, I have 2 golem hearts. I spent some of them on this sword. Yeah, so you get the golem heart from that. And then after you do that, you'll unlock the ability to purchase this pickaxe, which I'm sure after you're seeing this, the new Angelite pickaxe has already came out. It's obviously going to be better than this one. I think it's going to be around 3 to 4 million, but I would recommend just saving your money for that. Don't buy this one. Instead, you should probably buy the prismatic pickaxe, which I'll actually show you how to get that. Yeah, to get the prismatic pickaxe, all you want to do, come over here to Bjorn's house. You'll see that there's like some kind of a castle over here. You actually want to ignore that. That's not where you get the prismatic pickaxe. Instead, you want to come over here to the right, which I know it might be a little bit confusing. You just want to come over here to this little right path right here, and then there's going to be a lake right here. All you got to do, come down this lake, and then you want to jump down this hole. Once you come down this hole and you swim down, you're going to have to break this big block of ice. It takes around 15 to 20 minutes. As you can see, the pickaxe is in there. Now, the pickaxe is 2 mil. It's around 1.8 mil, I believe, if you have the goblin race. Now, if you can glitch in here using demon or something, it won't work because you actually have to get something called the mosasaurite, which is what you get when you break this big old ice block, and you can't buy the pickaxe without it. So yeah, you're going to need to break the ice block. You can go in there and get the prismatic pickaxe. It's around 2 mil, like I said. It's pretty similar in how it works to this pickaxe. This one's obviously a little bit better, but this one is $800,000 more. So if you don't have that much money, it's probably better to just buy this pickaxe, which you might actually need this pickaxe or this pickaxe to get the new pickaxe that comes out tomorrow, which is the Angelite pickaxe. pickaxe. One last thing that I do want to talk about though is enhancing and runes. Now, when you're enhancing a weapon, it costs you essence. When you first craft a sword, it will not have a rune slot. Once you get it to level 3, it'll unlock 1 rune slot, and at level 6, it gets 2 rune slot. I believe at level 9, it gets its 3rd rune slot, but I would recommend just getting them to level 3 because the craft chance gets very low and it's really hard to actually upgrade them past it. It costs a lot of legendary essence, which you only get from the boss. So I would recommend trying to get your best swords to level 6. If you're just using like starter swords, I would recommend getting them to level 3. Now, for this weapon that I know I've been talking about pretty much the entire video, the way that it works is, I'm sure it's going to get patched soon, but pretty much when you put 1 eyesight into this weapon, it freezes enemies for 2 seconds. But if you look, it has a cooldown of 1.8. That means every 2 seconds it'll freeze an enemy, which it has a 39% chance to hit. But however, you can actually stack ice spec runes on top of it, which if you don't know, ice spec runes do the same thing as this, except once you have this on the actual sword, the runes, their cooldown is also decreased to 1.8 because the sword doesn't have multiple of the same thing. And so this sword has a 1.8 cooldown, but it triggers 3 times. And so it basically freezes them once every 1.8 seconds, which doesn't even give them enough time to attack. So this is really overpowered, and I'll actually put the recipe to craft this on the screen right now. It's actually a gauntlet recipe, but mine just turned into a rapier, which was kind of lucky, to be honest, for me. But if you don't have these materials, you can probably swap them out with something slightly worse. I would look into it. There's a lot of videos on this sword craft. That's it. If you're in late game, I hope this helped you. If you're in early game, I hope this helped you progress a little bit quicker. Please just like the video, honestly. If you want to go stream my music, it's Dilimerence on all platforms. I'll have the link in the description. But thank you for watching. Peace.